Okay, I'm getting really tired of reaching behind my back and trying to tie the apron ties behind my back in such a way that they won't come unhooked. So a light bulb went off in my head and I realized that I could make myself a little hook, and that way the two ends could be hooked together, and when I got ready to get out of my apron I could just reach back there and real quickly unhook and yank the thing off of my shoulders and go about my other duties. So here we go. I'm going to zero in on the countertop here in the shop and see if I can show you how this is made. Well, I think we're ready to go. Let's see what we can do with this. I've got all the things laid out that I need. Some needle nose pliers, some side cutters, a little vice grip, ruler, got the key ring, and they're all laying here on my apron. So the first thing you want to do is sneak into the closet in the house and steal a wire clothes hanger from the closet rack. It makes perfect hooks for your apron. And you'll see how this works in just a minute. It's going to be pretty easy to fix. Just about anybody, if I can do it, anybody else can do it. Let's put it that way. Okay, first of all, we want to measure about 3 inches, give or take. It doesn't have to be exact. And we'll cut the piece of the clothes hanger off here, like so. Okay, the first thing we need to do then is decide how thick our apron string is, and here mine is probably about almost a ½ an inch wide, it looks like. Yeah, it is exactly a ½ inch. So what I need is a ring on the end of this piece of clothes hanger wire that I cut off, and it needs to be large enough so you can thread this through the ring after you've got it made. So we're going to take the little needle nose vice grip and hope this works out like I want it to. And I'm going to bend this around like so, around the, and if you don't have one of these vice grips, it's not a big deal. You can make this loop out work out for just about anything. Okay, I might have got it a little bit too small, so I'm going to go down the straight part a little bit, just enough so that I can bring it around a little bit more and make my ring. And that's where okay, that came out about right. It's not a perfect circle, and it doesn't have to be. The main thing is that you can put your apron string through the hole, and this one's giving me a little trouble, but it's going to be fine when it's all done. And once you get it in there, then you can pull it through like I'm trying to do here, like it's not cooperating. There it goes. Okay, see what we've got so far? Pretty simple, huh? Pretty trendy, as the kids used to say. Okay, here we go again. Now we want to take this right where the end of the wire comes together, where you've made your loop, and get a hold of it with your needle nose pliers, and we want to bend it just about a 45. Okay, this kind of came open a little bit. Didn't want that to happen, but it does sometimes. Okay, now see what we've got? There's our end for our, and you can work on these a little bit and do what you want to with them to make it work out right. But the main thing is so that you can get your apron string through and then make your hook on the other end of it. Okay, what I would do next probably is to go about 1 inch from here where I bent the thing. Well, maybe more like 1.5 inches. Might be a little better. Let's go back about here. Okay, this isn't an exact science, so we're just going to kind of take it as we go along here and hope that it works out. Now, what I'm going to do is clamp my little vice grips on there. Now what we want to do is kind of bend a U on the end of our wire, opposite end of your loop that you're going to put your tie through. So that's about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. We'll just bring this around to kind of a U about like that. Need to straighten things up just a little bit here. Okay, now I think I would probably take the last 3/4 inch or so, something like that, and I'll see if I can bend it back at about a 22-degree angle or something like that. Doesn't have to be exact, just enough, you know, so it's easy to get your key ring hooked through when you're all done. So here we are, and hooked together like that. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is we decided earlier that I put my apron on and measured how far it was to the center of my back from the corner of the apron itself, and we can measure the tie now, and it was about 14 inches, and that's where we want to loop our key ring onto the tie. And this, if you're right-handed, why I would put this on the left-hand side, and if you're left-handed you can put it on the right-hand side of your apron. Okay, then we're going to tie a knot, just one knot for now, and then make it nice and smooth. We'll just bring it around the same direction that the end of the cord is going, and then we'll loop it back through for a second knot. That's not really important, just so there's 2 knots there so it doesn't come loose on you. Okay, and kind of snug it down so it's nice and pretty. Next thing you could do then from that point is on the other side we'll also measure 14 inches on our apron string, and we'll string the apron string through the hole here in the end of our little loop. It's still kind of tight, it hasn't gotten any easier to get through there, but just about got it. I think I forgot where 14 inches is. Okay, well, that's not too bad. We'll call it good. Now, same thing again. Tie a couple of knots here in the end of this thing. Snug them up good and bring it around the same direction it's going so it's nice and tidy. And bring it in there like so. Snug that up. Now all that's left to do would be to take some electrical tape and tape this back so that it's not dangling down there in your way. That's not necessary, it's just something that I think is kind of nice so that you don't have a big piece of your apron string hanging down there. Okay, see how simple, how easy that is to hook together? That's lots better than trying to tie a bow behind your back. And you can get in and out of these things slick as a whistle. Now, what I was hoping to do was to show you what I do on the end here. I just, you know, kind of tie it back, or lay it back on itself, Then take some electrical tape, wrap it around, and electrical tape is pretty forgiving when it comes to, it's good for everything under the sun. So just wrap it around there, take your X-Acto knife or whatever you happen to have handy, cut it off, and finish wrapping it around there, and away you go. See, that's not going to get in your way whatsoever. Same way on the other side, just tie it back. This one, either one of them probably would be good if you had one here and one right here, and then it'll never get in your way. And the other thing I failed to mention earlier is that you should take a file or put it on the grinder or something and knock that little sharpness off of the end there that the side cutters or dikes caused on the end of that when you cut off the piece of the clothes hanger. Okay, that's so much for today. This kind of a goof-off day to see what kind of response we get out of this, and I thought maybe this is something that somebody would really enjoy knowing a little bit about. And like I say, anybody can do it. So let's close this out. What I'm going to do is ask you to please subscribe. I don't know why nobody seems to be interested in subscribing to what I have going on here, but it is what it is. And next week I'll be doing another how-to, and what I'm going to do next week, probably, if everything goes well, is to show you a bandsaw sled that I kind of improvised and perfected, listened to lots of ideas on YouTube on how to do different things, and came up with this idea for cutting circles, and it's very adjustable, very easy to manipulate, and I've also included a fence that corrects for your blade angle. You know how bandsaw blades always want to drift off one way or the other. Well, I've improvised this way to get your fence exactly. It's not my idea. I stole it from somebody else, I'll admit, but this demonstration was shown to me on a table saw, and I thought, why can't it be used on a sled type thing on a bandsaw? And so next week, that's what we're going to have. So you've got something to look forward to. So that's it for this week, and this is all for What's Up, Wayne? Nobody seems to know what Wayne's up to anymore. So tune in next week and find out what Wayne's up to. And please subscribe and click like if you think that this is interesting enough to you. And that's how I find out whether you enjoy our little sessions together, or if you'd just like me to go away and shut up. That's all for today. Goodbye.